New Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja. Now, I'm not saying the game is broken or buggy or unplayable or anything, but it was released in 2022 and it's very low effort. It looks like a Flash game. It was made with Unity, which doesn't immediately mean anything, but you know, it was made with Unity, is a cheap game released on every platform under the sun. This really looks like a cover art for a mobile game. Holy crap. And it's, like I was saying, it's only on widescreen, so I have to use a different overlay. It doesn't allow you to rebind your controls for a gamepad or arcade stick, so I might be in trouble here depending on what the defaults are. I hope it's not... I don't end up with like attacking on the down button and jumping on the up button, because that's gonna mess my head so much. Look at the cute colorful cover art. I mean, it does have a little bit of personality, but I don't want to give it any credit. Like, it's a low-hanging fruit, honestly. But yeah, this is the final game of our retrospective, game 11 out of 11. And we got some comfy rains over here. I gotta make some quick adjustments from because of the previous game. New Joe and Mac for this, new Joe and Mac for this. I'm gonna have to like reset the timer when we move to the next screen. So let's move there. Hopefully it's not completely broken because it's a new widescreen sidebar. So let's see how it behaves. And it's decent. Chat is smaller, I apologize. I had to feed it in smaller space. So let me reset the timer. The sidebar is broken. It has 2000... Oh, okay, that's my bad actually. Let me fix this. And there we go. New John Mac Caveman Ninja PC 2022. Just why you feel so small and unimportant now. I'm so sorry. I couldn't do anything. Anyway, this is the fancy widescreen overlay. Well, look at it this way. Even my webcam is smaller. It's cramped in here. So yeah, let me find. I'm sure I have a shortcut for that somewhere around here. Yep, it's starting up. That's very loud. I have to fix the capture. Because of course it's a different capture. How loud is it? A bit. Mr. Nuts Studio. Got him. Start the timer. I don't like it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like it. It's... Also, it's taking... Okay, it stopped. Not really. It's doing double inputs sometimes. I hope I can keep my arcade stick. You weren't kidding about the flash look? Yeah. You lost me, Mr. Nuts. That's a bad place to be lost at. Yeah, you can change the keyboard controls, not the gamepad controls. You're gonna enjoy the extras. We can leave. Should we leave? It's every time I skip a menu option. Like, let me see. Look, I press down once. It's taking 2 triggers that. We played 10 games ranging from Amiga to Game Boy, and this is the only one where that is happening. And this is technically an Xbox 360 controller. Speedrun, Boss Rush. Right, it has an extended version, which I have seen people argue on the Steam forums that it's not beatable. because it's dumb hard or something. I don't know. Reviews are negative. Classic modes. Yeah, arcade. We're gonna do arcade. That's what we care about. We can take a look at extend later, but we only want to beat arcade. It has a continue. That's very weak, but it means we can beat it. Whatever. You can select who to play with. Yeah, look at that animation. We can invite a second player. Oh, you need a second controller, okay. I was gonna see if it was... God... These buttons on my gamepad are pretty far apart. I'm tempted to use Joy to key for this game. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. Woo 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 woo! Did they really need the moaning? Like, it's good that they kind of have the original intro here, but... Man, look at... Oh, it is the arcade. There's a time limit. Oh, props for that, I guess. The music is a bit generic. It is... I know it does remind me of the original, but... Okay, it's very much like the arcade, although it does give us an extra life. Well, I'll give it props for closely following the original arcade. Well, it does have this. Alright. It has the routes, and it shows what the routes are. Now, I'm not gonna say this is... Yeah, they do run away. It's very close to the arcade. I'm sorry to say, chat, that this is actually the second closest arcade port that we've had on this retrospective. It's not the same balance, and there is a one-up. I mean, not having the same balance is fine. That attack was not in the other games. How does it control? I'm sorry to say that it actually controls fine. It is responsive, that's the least I would expect. When you crouch, it does those eyes. It controls fine. Just the default controls can't be changed, that's the problem with the controls. Music is exaggerated. Not a fan. Okay, I know that attack gets telegraphed, but I have to jump either way. Just to... Okay, we got a better weapon so we can keep our distance. Yeah, I have to do that better. Like that. It does have more health than the original arcade. This boss. It also respects the projectile limits from the arcade. But the boss does behave, it has a different pattern and behavior in general. You kind of feel like it would have been better to make a new game instead of redoing the arcade. I mean, if you want a remake, a re-release of the arcade, it's also available on Steam. I think doing a remake like this is actually kind of lazy. So I tend to agree with you. It plays a little bit slower, so it's actually kind of easier. Despite the stuff that I need to get used to. And we died. We have been dying a lot. We would have run out of credits if it was the arcade already. And... Also, yeah, they give you the same amount of... Yeah, I told you guys. Game is balanced around 4 credits total. That's the same amount of credits they give on the DOS version, which is the closest port to the arcade. One of the things that what is going on? One of the things that I don't like about being a port is that they kept the time limit where your life drains. And you can throw a charged attack up, which you couldn't in any of the previous games. There is actually unused... You also charge faster. There is unused sprites on the original arcade for throwing big weapons up. Never got added. Probably for balancing reasons. Like, in general it's easier. But I'm not used to the patterns. So I do have to learn most of it anyway. Also, the music is weak a lot of the time. Still like the SNES music better. Especially for the bosses. I wonder if you take damage if you charge too long. Alright, the water stage, let's see how they did. I'm curious to see how they did each of the bosses. This is not the music for this stage, not on the arcade, not on any other version. And this version is pretty weak. Is that going to be the lightning weapon? Nope, it reset this one instead. Well, they have the banana peels as well. Well, that weapon, okay, but we're almost dead. I don't even know what damaged me so much. This boss does not behave anything like the other versions. That's going to take a while. We just have to jump, I guess. Yeah, this version is just jump most of the time. Effectively it's easier. The cave babes are not as attractive, that's a demerit right there, for sure. Yeah, this boss is very different. I can see that maybe the original version would be too unfair for like modern players or something. But it is a lot easier. I just wish they didn't have the life training. It's always been something I disliked about the other versions. Most versions don't have it, it's pretty much just the arcade and the DOS version, which is a very close port. And we got birds again. Where am I? I couldn't see where I was. Ah, we deleted the good weapon. What? Very different. Okay, I suppose it's going to be like the arcade where it actually switches sides. That's much easier to dodge. Yeah, he switches sides on that as well. Was that a 1-up? There was a random 1-up back there. He should be dead, actually. Can you die before I do? That's enough attacks to kill anyone. There you go. I mean, it works. Like, I'm not... I don't like it, but I can't say it's a bad game. And for the most part, it actually looks decent. This is the correct song of this level, yes. Nope, it isn't. It ended too early. Okay, this part is just as unfair, so that's good. And we want the bottom route. Not as offensively bad as you were expecting. That's a fair assessment, honestly. We don't want the fire. We don't want the fire, I said. Can we do this safely? We can. We got the fire! No! Ah, Jesus, the game just insisted we got the fire. Now we do have to get it. Well, it's like the arcades in that aspect. That enemy takes more damage in the arcade to die, and that's the good power-up. And it's not gonna drop again, of course. Yeah, this is okay, I guess. Let's see this boss. And I want to see if the game does the transitions. It looks very close to the original. Right, this boss has a different behavior in every game, I have to... They did... This is very strange. Doesn't seem to be taking damage when rolled up, which it does on most versions, including the arcade. Right, if you know the pattern, it's actually easier. Oh, you can't hit it from behind? I get it, but... It's a very weird song. He starts spinning the hands before the big attack is ready. That's very bad. Because you don't have a way of knowing if the big attack is ready or not. Yeah, you just have to be used to the new pattern. Yeah, it's very easy. It's just learn the new patterns. You try to do it like as you did on the previous games. Is it going to break? No, they got lazy. Just skip to the next level. And he doesn't have the animation hitting the ground. We don't want that. but we're gonna have to grab it because it's going to stay there. That's a lot easier. Yeah, that's way too fast to react. Unless we throw it up. Yeah, we did get the shit weapon. Yeah, you have to throw it up. You can't do it without doing that. Continue, yes. We have one more continue. It's going fine. It starts up there because of the way they coded the levels. Again, it feels lazy. Alright, that's a good weapon. I think it's not going to break its trunk. They might have felt it was too violent or something. The jumps are a bit floaty. Now I know what the problem I had with the controls. Jumps are very floaty. And it does move a little bit slow. But that's not a big problem, it's just different, I guess. It does lose the trunk at the end. They got lazy with this fight. You don't break it slowly, as in previous games. Alright. Well, they do have a guts level. Well, that's important. How's the lighting going to be in here? Feels a little bit fairer. Yeah, you do get some warning. You know, I'm gonna be a little bit honest here. Not that I'm praising the game or anything, but... Oh, we want that. But I got a feeling that a lot of the negative reviews is because they don't know the original version. Because it's very short, just like the original version. I mean, people nowadays might not be willing to enjoy that. Also, it's difficult. That's the arcade version. Not too difficult, it's easier actually, but... You have to learn the patterns and the timings. Maybe I can jump down, maybe that would be easier. Yeah, he jumps very slowly. Is it not going to break? Again, they got a little bit lazy with some of these bosses. Yeah, it doesn't break. Ah, that's boring. And yeah, just let her run all the way. I believe the top route was easier here. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is the easier route. Should get to the boss with a full health bar. Except that enemy does not behave anything like any other game. I think I can see them dying up there. I'm not paying attention. I didn't want that shit. Why is it a snake? Chat, why is it a snake? Why the hell? Who looked at the original boss and said, yeah, this is... I think this is a snake. I might have to just play it safe here. What? What? That's new. Okay, I don't have a problem with new. I wanted to kill those for health. Can we get a better weapon? Nope. We got a worse weapon instead. If we get too close, it lunges, and it's, depending on where we are, it can't be dodged. Shit. Shit! We got the health without taking damage, okay. More of these. If you jump... you hit it. Better weapon, please. Okay, that's good. Shit. I messed up my attack, that thing. Which also happened on the original, so that's fine. Come on. Ah, shit. Good. Okay. At least we got... We have 1 credit for the final boss, so we don't walk into it. Really, that's just lazy. That's just... Now this looks awesome, of course. We're losing life, I can't look at it too much. Alright, let's see how this boss is. Okay, this reminds me of some other versions, but the jumping on enemies is a lot easier, so this will be fine, I'm sure. Just have to be careful when you jump. Don't jump immediately after he spits, otherwise he's going to hit you on the way back, you piece We're still alive, apparently. I can't do the original strategy from the arcade, so I'm gonna. Okay, that's the last credit. I'm pretty sure we can kill it on this credit. Bump. That jump was unfair. Right, the original strategy is not actually working. I have 2 attempts here. Okay. Game took pity on me. Really, I might be messing this up too much. Yeah, that weapon shoots up automatically, so... yeah, this is fine. What? Shit. Oh, this is not as good. Really, you fucking things. You can't... okay, this is messed up compared to the original. You can't shoot at them before they flip. That's bullshit. Okay, this is the first boss that is way harder than the arcade. Like, you can't shoot at them when they're flopping around. This is our last attempt. Okay, let's try to make use of this. You piece. He's too close. Okay. Okay, we're gonna beat it on this attempt. If I don't mess up randomly, come on, just... yeah, that's fine. There is a metallic... one of the arteries on the heart is metallic for some reason. They're not gonna have anything like the original, like the SNES version. It's just original arcade port. Alright, so it's one of the 3 random endings where it can be like the good looking women or one of these guys or whatever. Alright, so we finished it on the first attempt, meaning it's not a difficult game at all. The music is bad. I don't like it, I'm gonna be honest here. Like, a couple of times it almost reminded me of the original music, but it's very generic sounding. Like, the graphics and animation, I don't like the style, but they're competent. Like, some of the bosses are well animated. Arcade parity shouldn't matter at this day and age, like 2022, who cares if it is similar to the arcade? It is similar in the arcade in like all the bad ways and not some of the good ones, because the bosses are different, the game is easier, they don't have some of the transitions. It's like they got some of it right. But again, it doesn't matter if it is very close to the arcade. I do agree with games on VHS, they should have gone for something entirely different instead. It's not accurate enough to be like, oh, this is a good port for the arcade. I mean, you can already get the arcade version on Steam for these and returns. So this is kind of like... there isn't a point for this game, is what I'm trying to say. Let me stop the timer. 38 minutes. Which is an arcade run. Now I guess that's the main point. Like, it's not bad, it's just pointless. Yeah, it was fast. It has the same amount of credits as the DOS version, which I do think is like the sweet spot. Yeah, the double inputs didn't matter during the game. You can do speedruns, you can do boss rushes, you can look at leaderboards. It's high scores. It's just high scores. It's not even online or anything. Not that I care. I never cared much about the yeah. Thanks for the GG's games on VHS. I'm not entirely disappointed. It's just pointless. Can we actually, if we go here, there's no option to continue. I think if you run out of credits, you can still continue, which is fine for a modern game, I suppose. I'm not gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna check the first level, see how it goes. Yeah, it's longer levels. But you still... yeah, you still take damage. You still drain your health while waiting, so it's not like it's a different mode like the SNES version, where you can take your time. It's literally just, oh, people are gonna play this, it's the arcade game, they're gonna think it's too short. Because it is. It's just longer levels. That enemy behaves very differently from the arcade. Yeah, and then you have the... that screen. At least you get some iframes after that. Some of the versions really needed, like getting that power up felt like a liability sometimes. Yeah. And the level still goes on after running through the dino. So even thematically it doesn't work properly, the extended version. Again, the SNES version is very good for it being like an extra content kind of thing. Levels are very long. Alright, they're long to the point of being boring. And it has one-ups. If you show this as a modern game, please tell me that people would find this boring. Because it is. Like, those mechanics are not enough by themselves to carry a game like this for levels that long. Alright, I'm not gonna do this mode. We finished it, it's fine. You ate the pizza and fell asleep. That's the pizza doing its job. Can we quit, please? Thank you. Yeah, like if I had people over, I would not invite them to play this co-op. This is... Play almost any of the other versions co-op instead. Alright. So in summary, let me pull this out of here. In summary, new Join Mac, Caveman Ninja. I think that Games on VHS put it best. It's not offensively bad, but it's pointless. I don't see a reason to play this version over any of the other ones. So, yeah. I would say good stuff, like the art is not horrible. Why is that boss a snake? I just looked at the cover art and I remembered, why is it a snake? There were no... Whatever. Like, they could have had at least the dinosaurs make a good sound. That's what some of the other versions of the game struggled with a little bit. Because, of course, they couldn't have, like, good samples for that a lot of the time. But even the... what was I gonna say? The SNES version has better dinosaur sounds than this one. So yeah. Disappointing. What can you do?